Hello Germany, today we're looking back on the history of the last decade. It's 1919 and Germany is facing the devastating effects of losing the war. The Treaty of Versailles is issuing large reparations, this involving the loss of Alsace-Lorraine, colonies in the Pacific, and many border territories. It's January 1919 and a National Assembly is meeting in Weimar to write a new German constitution. This is called the Weimar Republic. It is meant to help the country recover from this economic crisis. It's January 1923 and French and Belgian troops have occupied the Ruhr coalfields of Germany. They are forcing the payment of reparations. Strikes and riots break out in Germany. It's 1924 and the Dawes Plan has been formed to stop inflation and stabilize the economy of the Republic. The U.S., United Kingdom, Italy, Belgium, and France are involved in reconstructing the economy of the Weimar Republic. Germany gains the lost Ruhr lands and the U.S. has given loans to Germany also. It's February 1925 and Hitler announces the new name of the German Workers' Party. This is the Nazi Party, and he presents his 25-point plan for the future. It's 1926 and Germany joins the League of Nations with the purpose of allowing countries to settle disputes without going to war and to maintain world peace. It's October 1929 and the stock market has crashed in the U.S. This not only has affected the U.S. but also Germany because the country has taken loans from the U.S. in order to pay off the huge reparations. This economic downfall is so drastic that in one account of two brothers, wicker baskets are worth more than money. They were paid in coins after a day of work and brought the money home. Their mother told them to put the baskets outside so it wouldn't take up room in the house. The next day, what was left was only the money. Someone had taken the wicker baskets because they were more valuable.
Unemployment in Germany reaches an all-time low this month with 4 million people with no job. It's January 30th, 1933, and Adolf Hitler becomes Chancellor of Germany today. Big changes ahead for Germany's history. Hitler is now trying to get rid of politics and create a one-party state. As well, the first Nazi concentration camp has been formed. Today, on October 23, 1933, Germany withdraws from the League of Nations. It's June 2nd, and Hitler has now increased the number of Nazis in his government today. Today we look back in March 1935 in Germany. Conscription was reintroduced into the German public, so come join the army and serve your country. The Nuremberg laws were also passed this year. Those include the citizenship laws that designate Jews as subjects, the law for the protection of German blood and German honor, which regards Jewish marriage, the law for the protection of the genetic health and the German people, which requires all persons wanting to marry to submit to a medical examination, after which a certificate of fitness to marry. So if you plan to be married soon, there is a long road ahead for yourself.
Today we look back on 1936. This year we reoccupied Rhineland, and Himmler became the chief of German police. The Olympics were also held in Berlin, and we won 33 gold medals, and we took home a total of 89 medals. Also, this year, the 4-year plan for economic self-sufficiency was enacted, which means that a series of reforms were created to try and make Germany self-sufficient. So all of you without jobs and Nazi Party goals are to reduce unemployment and increase synthetic fiber production. We also signed a treaty to not invade Poland this year too. Today we're looking back on 1938 when the Munich Pact was signed, which let us have Sweden to appease Hitler. It's a sad day in 1939. The Germanic population has been hit hard with the death of Ernst von Rath. We have been encouraged by Hitler and other Nazi leaders to arrest, vandalize, and burn Jewish people's property and synagogues. Germany occupied the rest of Czechoslovakia, which means we're getting our land back, which is ultimately a win for us. Britain and France gave guarantees to Poland about its security because Poland feels threatened. I mean, who wouldn't? We're going to take the world by storm. The Soviet-German non-aggression pact was signed with the leaders of both places. Hitler, Ribbentrop, and Molotov all signed it. In hindsight, making Himmler the chief of police wasn't smart because he was directly involved with the Holocaust. With the Olympics being in Berlin, it helped Hitler get his message across much easier. People soon learned that Hitler is never satisfied and will go after what he wanted. So he ended up taking more land and still creating a war. And this began with the attempted assassination of Ernst von Rath, third secretary of the German embassy in Paris. The man who tried to kill him was named Herschel Grispan. When he was arrested, he said that being a Jew is not a crime. I am not a dog. I have the right to live, and the Jewish people have the right to exist on this earth.
The 4-year plan's true intentions were to have a continuous supply of war needs. That treaty turned out to be a big fat lie. German people used Kristallnacht as the 4-year plan's true intentions were to have a continuous supply of war needs. That treaty turned out to be a big fat lie. German people used Kristallnacht as an excuse to remove Jewish people from their way of life completely, which was one of the origins of the concentration camp and the true reason why the Jewish people shot the secretary. It was like a cry out for help from the outside world. Wherever I have been chased like an animal. After he was pronounced dead, the Nazi Party went on a rampage of the people, arresting, vandalizing, and burning Jewish people, property, and synagogues.
Even after the non-aggression pact, Germany invaded Poland and got them to surrender. The moral of the story is don't make agreements with Hitler that you don't expect to be able to fall back on.
As of today, Germany has surrendered and the war is over.